In this video, I'm going to talk about Copilot Code Editor. Now, Copilot Studio provides a facility for developers to view the code and even edit the code in the form of YAML. So YAML is Intent Markup Language. It's basically a markup language which shows the information in a tabbed format. Okay, it's different from JSON. I've already covered a video on introduction of YAML, so you can have a look into my YouTube channel. With YAML, you will be able to see the backend structure of how the topic is built or how the copilot is structured. Now, this is a sample screenshot of the copilot when I open a copilot, and if I go into a specific topic. So if you see this topic over here, it's told as thank you, and there is an option to open the code editor, and once you open the code editor you will be able to see the code in the form of YAML. Okay, so this is how you can see the structure. Now, how to see this, how to read the structure is here you will see that there is an action. Okay, so the action is send activity, and activity is you're welcome. So if you closely read this component, this is related to this. And now similarly, if you want to see the trigger component, now this trigger component has some topic. Okay, it is triggered by copilot, which is a modern way of triggering, and also the topic content. Okay, now there are some trigger queries, so those all things are defined over here. So there are some four trigger queries like thanks, thank you, thanks so much. So all these things are displayed in this particular screenshot. Now, there are some code which you can edit, which are available in the actions tab. So not only you can view and edit the topics code, but you can also view and edit the actions code as well. So I'm going to demonstrate that in in this video. So what I'm going to do is, so first I will show you the copilot which I've already created. So this is named as July 1 Copilot. This is actually a copilot which was built using Copilot Studio. Now this copilot does not have any specific theme or so. I've just created one topic inside this copilot. Now, just to understand what does the how does the code looks like, so you need to first go into the topic and then pick up any of the topic. Okay, I've created one custom topic over here named as maths or maths loop. So I'll go inside maths, and then here you will see three dots more, and if you click on it, here you will find open code editor. So if you want to see what does this topic contains, now this topic does not contain anything fancy, it just contains a trigger and a message box. So here you will see the code. So this particular code has a trigger query and an action, right? Now what thing you can do is you can replicate this as well. Okay, now say let me go into another topic. Okay, so let me show you a topic called as maths loop. So over here, you see a trigger, you see a message, and then you see a redirect block. So take for example, if this is a message, okay, this is a loop where now I want to add one more message. What I can do, I can click over here and add a message, right? Send a message. Now instead of that, from a code perspective, what I'll do, I'll click on more, I'll click on open code editor, and then I will see this block, kind send activity. So you need to be very careful when you're using YAML, because if you do not know what you're doing, then it might tamper the source code base. Okay, so make sure that you know what you're doing, and then you can do a copy paste. Okay, so what I've done is like I've just copied it and I'll try to paste it. Now make sure all the alignments are currently properly structured. So if it is not structured, it will show you an error message. Like as you see over here, it says error reading YAML content near line 18, because YAML is all about the tab structure, the align, how aligned it is. So it does not have a braces or it does not have a square bracket. So you need to be properly formatting your document in the correct YAML format. So what I'm going to do, what I've done is like I've added this component. Now I need to properly align it. So what I'm going to do, I'll just align it properly. Now it is now correctly aligned. And now I will make something, I'll put the message as something else. This is loop number 2. I'll just say be aware. Now, if you see over here, as in a type, here you will see an IntelliSense. Okay, here you can see IntelliSense of activity, event, and then various properties which are currently available. So this is a rich editor. It does not have many functionality, but then it gives you a rich set of IntelliSense as well. So what we have done, we have copied a message box, and then this is of type send activity. And what I'm going to do, I'm okay with it, like it has not given me any syntax error. I'll just click on save. Now what I've done, I've saved this. Okay, now it says this topic has one error. Now what is that error? Okay, now I'll just cancel this off. Now remember, once you copied it, you just say change the message. Right now this is not sufficient because you have an ID. Now you cannot have two ID with the same name. Okay, so we need to must make this ID with something else. So I'll just put the number 56. Okay, and I'll click on save. Now this is perfect. Okay, so this topic is saved. Now let me see the visual interface, how it looks. Now we have added this message. This has a different ID and we have changed the message as well. Now we can make the change over here as well, whatever things we want in the graphical user interface, and then it will allow you to change as well. Okay, and you click on save. So this is how you basically use the code editor to make any changes to the topic. Now, this is not limited to topic. Okay. Now we are in the modern Copilot interface. Now, if I go into actions, now what I've done ahead of time, I've created an action. I've added an out of the box action which is available, named as MSN Weather. Okay. Now, for MSN Weather, I'll just click on that MSN Weather action. So it can be any of your action which you have created for your Copilot. Now, in this MSN Weather action, there is a detail, there is an input, and then there is an output. So what this action does is basically it extracts information from the user. Like if I want to know the weather for, say, Brisbane city and the postcode 4101, then it will output me the temperature, the wind, the humidity. So all these parameters. Now, what all things it will output is listed over here. So it will list down the moon phase code. So there are 39 outputs which it will generate. Okay, so moon phase, moonrise, moonset, sunrise, sunset, precipitation, sky, summary, wind direction. So all these things it will output. Okay, now what you can do, you can open this action and then click on this three dots. If you click on three dots, you will see open code editor. Now what I will do, I will see this code. Okay, what kind of code it is? It's an action which is of kind task dialog. It takes input. Now there are two inputs it takes, and it is called as automatic task input. So it takes units, string, pre-built entity, and location. So it takes the unit, it takes the location as an input. What does it output? It outputs 39 properties, right, listed over here. And then it does an action and then it responds, right? Now what I can do, I will edit this code. So what I will do, I do not want all this property, right? What I'll do, I'll just remove it from here. Okay, I'll just delete it. Okay, and the alignment has been disturbed, and then it will tell you an error reading YAML content, right? And I'll just do a control Z, and then all the other information will persist. So I've removed a couple of entries over here. What I'll do, I'll click on save. Now once it is saved, what I can do, I can again go back to the action. Okay, and see the GUI and see based on my code change whether it has made those changes or not. So if I go to output, now here you will not see moonrise, moon phase, and here you will see the output as 30. Earlier it was 39. So 9 output has been eliminated. So this is how you can play around with the action, and then you can publish your Copilot and then you can start checking. So this is one of the way through which you can open the code editor. Remember, it's not a code viewer, it's a code editor. So you can actually edit the code provided you know what you're doing, and you need to be aware of the YAML syntax as well. Now, this is all about code editing in the modern Copilot. I have a classic Copilot which I have created ahead of time. Now, here if I go to topics, if I navigate to say one of the custom topic, okay, so if I go into one of this topic, uh, I didn't find any way through which I can view the code. Okay, so if you see this authoring interface, uh, here you have a test bot, here you have a save button, topic checker, and then the comments. And then we have analytics, variable, trigger phases, and details. So if I click on details, I see the name, display name, description, status, and some auditing information. So there's no way through which you can view the code in the from an old interface perspective. Okay, over here as well you have zoom in, zoom out, mini map, and then you have a recenter and a variable watch. So from a troubleshooting perspective, you can watch a variable, but apart from that you cannot do anything further on that. And there is no concept of action over here, so there's no point in checking that as well. So that's it, folks. This is all about viewing the code for your Microsoft Copilot Studio in the modern interface using the code editor which is available, and then the code format which it renders is YAML. So you should know how to view the YAML file, how to edit the YAML file, and then accordingly save the YAML file and then verify whether the changes have been populated or not. Thanks for watching.